Daily Message, January 5th, 2024. I awoke this morning with this definition of sin running through my mind. Sin is that which one does that is not justified in the sight of God. That is to say, one might argue one's actions were justified or done for good reasons, but were they justified in the sight of God? Take anger, for example. In Psalm 4, verse 4, David wrote, "Be angry and do not sin. Meditate within your heart on your bed and be still." In other words, anger can be justified or unjustified in the sight of God. An emotional outburst of uncontrolled anger out of frustration or pent-up feelings of hurt would not be justified in the sight of God. On the other hand, acting out in a reasoned fashion against injustice could well be justified in the sight of God. Take, for example, Jesus' cleansing of the temple, recorded in John 2, verses 13 through 16. The Passover of the Jews was near, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. And he found in the temple those who were selling oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers seated at their tables. And he made a scourge of cords, and drove them out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen. And he poured out the coins of the money changers, and overturned their tables. And to those who were selling the doves he said, "Take these things away. Stop making my Father's house a place of business." Jesus was obviously displeased, but he did not have an emotional, uncontrolled outburst. Rather, he made a scourge of cord, and then he drove them all, including the animals, out of the temple, poured out the coins, overturned the tables, and stated why he had done so. His behavioral choice was not an emotional, uncontrolled outburst of anger or pent-up hurt from the past, but a methodical, acted-out response to the disrespect being shown to his Father's house. Thus, his actions were not sin, for they were justified in the sight of God. So let us think before we act and consider if said actions would be considered as justified by God or as sin. With love to all, Pastor Cheryl.